Grand Rising, or whatever time this video finds you. We're gonna break down some shit right quick. Bomb. Create new experiences to learn every day, and you actually have to do it. Keep your spirit clean on all levels. Learn how to know how to flush out your energy. Know how to remove the negative attachments and shit from the daily experiences. Do your spiritual cleanses, your baths, your baptisms, your showers, whatever it is that you indulge into. But things that help you clear your space, and still do whatever the fuck you want to do or need to do. Get introduced to some intelligent spirits, even some spirits that's not in bodies down here anymore. Spirits in other worlds, other kinds of minds, even in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, that already did what you did, and thought how you thought. Interact with spirits like that, with bodies like that. The only way of getting into those kind of spaces is if you come up with your own individual thought and feeling about this world. AKA, any spirit that passed on from this world had their own thought and feeling. So you can't even create a thought to jump into as a spirit in their area if you don't act like them. And no matter what's going on or whatever's going on, you can still think the way you need to think. And you should not care about how strong the currents is. You should be able to still drive straight. So first and foremost, you got to think for yourself in them situations. Don't stop yourself and don't beg. Change your mind state. And don't let the frictions of the waters or the influences dictate what's within your orbs, within your space. Introduce the world to real spirits and shit like that, and show that it's possible. Put more time into what you believe in regardless of this external situation. Spiritually, you gotta go there. Get to that space. Drive to that location. Get that spiritual job. Get that duty and obligation. Or go to that space. Make up your own mind and bring that energy down here. Now you know you got soul group in all realms. Your creating is based upon you. And a lot of times, you'll get help from other spirits, high vibrational, low vibrational, demons, angels, gods, goddesses, etc. That'll come through and probably help you create some bullshit. Now, the second stage is you fighting off the spirits and demons and angels and shit like that that's interfering with that shit, trying to fuck up your shit and try to stop what you trying to get done. Now you know you in a real spiritual battle. Fighting the whole realm you in by yourself. All this is all parts of being in the initiation energies of higher self, of a higher being, becoming your own higher source and such like that. Things like that are entailed. Then at the point, after you make the universe bow down, then you will leave that realm, that space and location, that area or that circumstance that's playing out in the present, and it will become the past because you're present creating the future. There's no longer a fight there. Now you're taking a seat with other authorities, other people in a position of power. Now you're needed. joining a true understanding, the true understanding, and now you in a seat with a council. This is who secret societies are communicating with. These are entities, real beings, that don't give a fuck about the war or fighting over countries in the fourth, fifth, or sixth dimension, or states of beings. These are a bunch of states in different countries. You got certain galactic federations of light and other celestial governments who rule certain aspects and spectrums the same way down here you got governments, royal families, presidents, geographical locations. They all rule their own respective space. This shit is going on in space too. Also in the esoteric realm. So now, once you get to this space, this spiritual council don't give a fuck about the disagreements in the lower councils. And motherfuckers who keep trying to create Mount Hermons or Mount Herus and keep getting lost in bodies. This spiritual council right here is sitting back and agreeing to terms and conditions, trying to understand and orchestrate things from a galactic point of view. It takes a group of things to make one thing. So once you reach that space, this ancestral space, they understand the concept of creating concepts manifest into bodies. And bodies manifest into worlds. And worlds can manifest into lostness if you allow it. So they understand how states and countries get created is based upon galactic information. Once you reach there and be in the council and know what the fuck is going on, then you got real say-so. Then you got real obligations. Then you got some real energy. You got some real direction. We are all spiritually swimming, and some of us are spiritually flying. So you'll have to know how to separate from the body, aka detach yourself from the realm of reality and the responsibilities, and clear yourself at the moment and spiritually fly. And enhancing your ability to do so as a part of keeping your spiritual space clean will be very effective and useful to you along your journey. So now, going on to this astrolocational shit and how to understand how to properly look at some shit in certain type of ways. There's one of many ways. It's more than one way. Don't take this shit as whole. Don't take this shit as absolute. You got a little diagram. Bomb. See how we have the earth? He said, boom, we got the realm. You got the spheres of reality, you got the planets and shit like that, and the world that's dealing with that. Then you have the shadow realm. Then you have how we logically box that out, type shit in regards to everybody collectively, everybody agreed to see this. How to view this basically is a box just explaining worldview in general, type shit. Nothing too particular. Nothing is specific. Boom. You have the world. You have the fear. You have the realm, the planets, the shadow realm aspect of that. The lower density version of that. You have the sun, the projection and shit like that, the other stars, aka the firmament. But the firmament is not, the firmament was never actually, might not actually been a good thing. It's basically correlating to something over your dome type shit. So it's kind of like have an open canopy, be open-minded, be open to all possibilities, all experiences. anything going out happening in your favor. So bam. Alright, so boom, this is logically so basically this is supposed to be a square. Logically boxing out how to look at this world type shit from a geo perspective. Then you got the helio perspective looking down upon that type shit, where you as a six dimensional being, you will be a star being, right? So you basically be a being that's be constantly aware and able to naturally balance out the masculine and feminine energies naturally. So bam. So in regards to that shit, you basically become a star. It's a concept. Follow on. Then you have the realm. You have the you have the realm of the seen, you have the realm of the unseen. But then you deal with the two sides, not dealing with the masculine and feminine, but understanding the yang within it. You got the yin and the yang, and the yang within the yin. So the shadow realm is the lower density version of that type shit. Worlds slow down and shit like that, and shit is playing out in round 2 on the lower dense level of that shit. Fourth and fifth dimensionally interacting with shit. Bam. And then when you get into this realm, you're in the realm where amongst other stars. This star right here, relative to these other stars, basically being the same thing, but I just changed it. It just let you know that just further out in the distance, all this shit is that's around, all the stars interacting with each other and shit. Bam. So on the lower scale, you have civilization in general. Then you have soul groups and different spiritual paths. Then you have the Elohim, the demigods. Then above that is Lucifer. Not saying that Lucifer is the higher being, but we gotta understand how this fucking realm reality plays out certain shit. That shit be projecting its consciousness through the motherfucking sun when you go outside and shit. So you gotta know how to motherfucking maneuver and shit like that. Certain shit that don't want you, shit is conscious. If you go outside and get conscious awareness, best believe that shit you see out there in the sky floating around and shit moving around every single motherfucking day, that shit conscious too. It just don't like letting people know it's aware type shit. So it's like, bang, moving on. But it goes by many names. Boom, and then you got the Galactic Federation of Light. So this boom, this is the solar system type shit. This is the solar system. This is the only physical one that we have. And the reason why it's so special over here, this plane existence, is because this is the only realm that's physical. Well, all this shit, all the other realms of realities could play out here type shit at a certain level relative to dimension, relative to perspective too, and how you interact with that shit. So bomb. Then you have and inside. So within this solar system, outside the solar system, but then within this galaxy, you have the Galactic Federation of Light. Galactic Federation of Light is pretty much basically the Yin realm Illuminati, or basically the spirits that's basically enlightened, but move around in the fucking Yin realm and shit like that, in the realm of the unseen, just relative to whether it be the shadow realm or other realms of realities coincided from expansions from going to higher ascensions. Bomb. That boom, relative to that relative to this galaxy, there's others multiple galaxies as well. So bomb, you have other celestial governments interacting with each other in regards to this council we speak of. So boom, outside of this, further out from the celestial governments, then you have the spiritual government. Spiritual governments. Type shit. And then when you go further more out, then you have the high spiritual universal galactic councils. Basically, that's in the that plays out more in the universal galactic world type of things. When you're dealing with other galaxies, other star nations, other star seeds, other gods, other goddesses, other angels, other demons, other different shapes and forms of other beings and shit like that that's taking place out here in this fucking unfathomable, constantly expansive, infinite realms. And then we have the ancestral spaces. Where we're all derived from, but that space, that spiritual space. This is giving you an idea. This doesn't really correlate to you actually traveling to the ancestral spaces, but there are levels to that shit on each realm, in each scale. These are not separate, but they're not the same thing, and they're not, it's layered type shit. You get what I'm saying? Just like these dimensions are all basically overlapping each other, but it's still right here simultaneously and shit. It's how it's all playing out. So this is just the way how you get an understanding of a visual and how to explain what the fuck I'm trying to explain. So this is not to be logically looked at as going up or down, or left and right. They're dealing with closest to distance. The more further within you go within yourself, the further out you actually travel. Type shit. And then relative to that, you create up, down, left, right. Type shit. So I added that in there just to give you a visual on like where is the scale I how to understand niggas don't be giving a fuck about a lot of shit y'all niggas be trying to make important. I gotta say so, nigga. I just stay out the way. I just do my own shit. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I'm a student of knowledge and wisdom and shit. So I'm just helping y'all out with some knowledge and wisdom and shit that may help you as a tool. This is not to be taken as absolute. This can be refurbished based upon your understanding of what I'm talking about relative to understanding how to logically even it out and get it on the level so that way you can have a mental understanding and to point to where you can understand what somebody's pointing towards. So you probably see the potential in that, and then you can use this as a template to create your own verbatim system of how do you already understand that and how you could actually properly expand on that is just on your own time. This had nothing to do with the beginning session. This is just a tool for you to use on your reference to how you already understand this scaling type shit. Not even just this scaling, this calibration, comprehending certain shit. This is just a simple way of basically separating the shit that be all chords all meshed together that can sometimes be confusing or overwhelming to a spirit that basically first just coming to their awareness and are moving around in this world and don't want to be told they're fucking bugging the fuck out or they're crazy and they know they're just having a spiritual experience. Real shit.